Welcome to Links 007 TV News Report, providing you with the best in local and international news updates. This is a place where you can get the most reliable and informative news information. Links 007 TV News Report. Thanks for joining us. This is Links 007 TV News Report. Man charged for murder of two homeless people suspected in 3 other killings and abduction. A man has been charged for the murder of two homeless people in St. James, and the police have indicated that they are likely to lay more charges against him in connection with the deaths of 3 others. He is also expected to be charged in connection with an attack on a woman who had to be rescued by police accompanying a ministerial tour. According to a high-ranking member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Ronaldo Ricketts was on Thursday charged for the murder of Mark Thompson following a question and answer session in the presence of his lawyer. Thompson was killed around 11:44 p.m. on August 19, 2023, and his body found on St. Claver Avenue in Montego Bay. Also on Thursday, Ricketts was charged for the murder of another man who was killed on Barnett Street in the Western City. That man remains unidentified. Meanwhile, the police are trying to determine the identity of the 3 other homeless men in whose murders Ricketts is a suspect. In September of this year, the Jamaica Constabulary Force Corporate Communications Unit, the Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson said that forensic and technological capabilities linked the suspect to the killing of the 5 homeless men in St. James, and charges were likely soon. Ricketts is also to be charged today in connection with the August 30 forceful abduction and attempted rape of a woman. It was during that incident that he was nabbed by the police, who were escorting a ministerial tour in parts of St. James. The cops stopped to help a screaming woman. The incident occurred in Belvin Hall Avenue in Montego Bay. The police were nearby at Jarrett Park when they heard the woman's screams. According to a police member, she managed to escape from the car of a man holding a knife at her and attempting to rape her. The police responded to the woman's scream and took a man into custody even though he proclaimed his innocence. The woman was whisked away by cops. The incident temporarily put a hold on the tour by the Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie. Continuing the news. Citizens on alert. Gunman held hours after shooting taxi operator. Alonzo, a 23-year-old resident of Rose Heights, St. James, is facing multiple charges including murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony following the killing of a taxi operator in Copperwood, St. James on Friday, September the 1st. The deceased has been identified as Maurice Anthony McLaughlin, and McLaughlin was driving his grey 2013 Toyota Vaxi motor vehicle along the Cambridge Maid Road when Vincent, a passenger in the vehicle, reportedly pulled a handgun and opened fire, hitting him in the head. Following the shooting, Vincent pushed McLaughlin from the vehicle into the roadway and drove away in the direction of retrieving Cambridge. Residents passing found McLaughlin with gunshot wounds and promptly assisted him to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Shortly thereafter, concerned residents spotted McLaughlin's vehicle in the Roehampton area and alerted the police. In an attempt to escape, Vincent crashed the vehicle into a ditch and made good his escape. He then fled the vehicle, leaving behind a .40 Ruger pistol with a magazine containing 40 rounds. He was subsequently apprehended by the police in the area shortly after fleeing the scene. On Wednesday, September the 6th, he was interviewed in the presence of his attorney, leading to formal charges being laid against him. Continuing the news. Female in St. Thomas attack and rape at gunpoint by Mason. A St. Thomas man has been charged with rape, using a firearm to commit a felony, following an incident in Pear Tree, St. Thomas on August the 1st. The accused is 47-year-old Alvaranga Coburn, a mason of Pear Tree. Reports are that at around 10:30 p.m., a woman was walking along the Pear Tree Main Road when the accused man and 2 other men held her up at gunpoint and sexually assaulted her. The investigation into the incident is ongoing, and lawmen continue to search for the other suspects. Continuing the news. Clarendon man attacked and killed while taking home his 7-year-old son. A Clarendon man was chopped and shot to death while bringing home his 7-year-old son from a wake at McDonald District, Crooked River in Clarendon on Thursday night. The deceased has been identified as 38-year-old Fitzroy Ricketts, a farmer from the district. It is reported that at around 9:40 p.m., Ricketts and his 7-year-old son were at a wake in the community. The son fell sleepy during the event and requested to be taken home. The police said that Ricketts and the child went home, but upon pulling the gate, the farmer was accosted by several men who opened gunfire at him. He ran into a yard and was chased into bushes where he was killed. The child ran back to the wake and made an alarm. The residents notified the police, who with the help of several community members searched the muddy terrain and found Ricketts' body in bushes around 150 meters from his dwelling in a dense vegetation. He was found suffering from chop wounds to the neck and what appears to be gunshot wounds to the head. He was clad in a blue jeans trousers, a grey t-shirt, and a pair of black and white Adidas sneakers. The body was taken to the Maypen Hospital where he was pronounced dead and later transported to the morgue pending postmortem examination. The Maypen police have since launched an investigation into the case. Continuing the news. A deadly earthquake has hit Morocco with the death toll now stands at 800 and expected to rise. More than 800 people have died and hundreds more injured after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck in Morocco. The number of dead is expected to rise as rescuers dig through rubble and attempt to reach remote villages. Many of the fatalities are said to be in the hard-to-reach areas of South Marrakesh. The epicenter of the quake was high in the Atlas Mountain, about 43 miles or 70 kilometers away from Marrakesh, a popular tourist destination. Reaching people in remote villages where old tradition buildings may be likely to collapse will be the key focus of the rescue for today. The earthquake struck in the wee hours of Friday night, damaging buildings and sending panicked people pouring into the street. At least 672 people were injured and are being treated at hospital. Officials are working to clear roads so that ambulance and aid can reach those affected, but large distance between the mountain villages mean it will take some time for the help to reach those damaged areas. This is one of Morocco's strongest earthquakes in years, and although they are relatively rare, a 5.8 magnitude tremor was felt in 1960, which caused thousands of deaths. After that, there was a change in the building laws where changes were made to withstand more magnitude earthquakes. The number of dead is expected to rise through the day as more people are uncovered from the rubble. The earthquake was felt as far away as Portugal and Algeria. Morocco has not yet asked for help from any other countries, but the United Nations has said it's ready to assist if needed. Foreign Secretary James Cleverly said that the UK government is ready to help our Moroccan friends in whatever way we can. The government is also supporting foreign nationals in the country, he said. During the publication of this report, we were just reliably informed that the death toll has now reached 820. The quake was the strongest to hit the part of the North African nation in more than 120 years, according to the U.S. Geographical Survey. Links 007 TV will continue to track this story and provide you with more information to come on this in a later newscast. Support available on the pod for employment and further studies. Beneficiaries under the Program of Advancement through Health and Education pod can access support for employment or to pursue further studies. These include Step to Work, postgraduate education grants, and tertiary education bursaries. Steps to Work is aimed at facilitating a structured system for assisting working age members of the poor families to seek and retain employment. Beneficiaries can access entrepreneur training and microfinance support and grants for up to $200,000 to establish or expand small businesses. There is also a job readiness training placement referral and paid on-the-job training opportunities for qualified secondary and tertiary graduates. In addition, technical and vocation training and certification opportunities in collaboration with HEART. Meanwhile, the post-secondary education grant intervention is available as a one-time incentive for students who are registered members of the PART household and are enrolled in an approved secondary education institution, including HEART. Benefits range in value from $15,000 for individuals receiving the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC examinations, up to $30,000 for those pursuing associate degree programs. Eligibility is restricted to people who had received at least one part benefit payment while in secondary school. Bursaries valued at $100,000 are paid directly to participating institution that manages the application process on the behalf of PART. The bursary may be accessed each year of study, and beneficiaries are required to maintain a 2.5 grade point average. Eligibility is restricted to people who have received at least one part benefit while attending secondary. This initiative under the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, PART, was introduced as a conditional cash transfer program targeting vulnerable households within the population. Since its launch in 2002, PART has become Jamaica's flagship social assistance program, currently providing cash grant to approximately 350,000 beneficiaries. This has been Links 007 TV News Report. Thanks for watching.